Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about women never forget a man who does this, okay? So if you want to become unforgettable, right, then this is one of the things that I'd really like you to begin practicing and doing. So this is quite a practical coaching video that you can easily apply and start doing along with this video or straight away after you've watched the video. But if you take the time to do this, then you will become more like one of those guys that becomes unforgettable to women, okay? And this is all about having standards, okay? So basically, the kind of guy that women find it very difficult to forget are the guy that it's not as easy to impress. It's not as easy to impress you, because you have standards, okay? So you have standards on the kind of women you want to date. You have standards that you've put on yourself. You have standards about how you want your life to be, okay? And therefore, there's only so many people you're going to let into your circle. There's only certain kinds of women that you're going to date. So once a woman, let's say a woman is interested in you, and you have these standards, and she's not up to those standards, that woman is not going to forget about you, especially if you reject her, okay? Because more than likely she wasn't expecting to be rejected, because let's say she actually gets a lot of attention from guys, okay? But there's something about her personality that's not quite what you want, okay? So yeah, maybe you start talking to her and you realize, actually, yeah, maybe I'm not really that interested in her. But maybe the past you, because maybe you're desperate for love, would have carried on dating her anyway. But now that you've got these new set of standards, you can sort of take a step back and think, actually, yeah, she's not really quite up to what I really want in this life. She's not what I really want as a romantic partner. I don't really visualize her being my wife. She's not really wife material. So I'm just going to let this go. And I guarantee that never happens to her, okay? Right, especially if she gets a lot of attention from guys. So you're going to become the outlier, the one that she's not going to be able to forget about, because you're the one that it was not very easy to impress. And maybe she will actually change herself and change her behavior to actually become more up to your standards, okay? And maybe then you might reconsider. But again, you've changed her behavior, you've switched who she is. It was a wake-up call for her, because you were the guy that she was interested in or showed some interest in, and you had that strong internal masculine core that was able to deflect her, basically, because you realized that she wasn't up to your standards, okay? So the whole point of this video then is how you can create your own set of standards. Now, of course, this is going to be different for every guy who's watching this video. They're going to be it's like picking your favorite flavor of ice cream. That some people are gonna want like mint chocolate chip. Maybe you want chocolate. Some people want strawberry. Other people want vanilla. Some people want like like a mixture or something. They want like a Neapolitan, right? So this is gonna be different for you, right? It's gonna be very individual. So you got to think about the perfect woman for you. Okay, how you would have her if it was perfect. If you could just make an order on Amazon for like the perfect girl, what would be the criteria? Okay, now you can put in there the way that she looks, you can put in there like her lifestyle and interests, those kinds of things, but also you want to put in deal breakers too, like things that are going to be red flags for you. Okay, so for example, it might be a good idea to date a woman who has the same kind of values as you. Like, for example, let's say that you really want kids, or you really want to get married, but let's say you meet a woman who doesn't want those things. Now, some guys may think, well, I can change her. Maybe I can be the guy that she does want to do those things with. But it's best to just align yourself with women who, out the gate, just want the same things as you, because there's no guarantee that you're going to change them. In fact, one of the things that I try to teach a lot and coach a lot is, assume that the person that you're dating is the way they're always going to be. So on the first date and they tell you about themselves, assume that that's how they're always going to be. If she says she doesn't want to have kids and she doesn't want to get married, then assume that's how she's always going to think and believe. And maybe talk to her for a little bit longer, just to be polite, and then get up and say, well, good luck with your dating, and then move on with your life and move on to the next woman. Okay, so have things that you can't live without, and things that, those deal breakers, those things that are really, really important to you. Okay. And then when you start talking to a woman, you've now got these set of standards that you want. Okay. So you might want to review them before you go out on a date. So then when you're out on that date, you will know what it is that you want. And if she happens to be those things, then great. But if she happens not to be those things, then it may suck, because she might be really outwardly beautiful and you'd really love to continue dating her because she looks so beautiful. But if she hasn't got the personality to match, or the criteria to match, and she's only got the looks, then it's probably best to just let her go before you get too emotionally attached to her. Okay. So having these standards is an excellent thing that you can start to do. Now, of course, though, you've also got to have standards for yourself, because there's no point you saying, oh, I want a woman who is completely 100% faithful, yet you've cheated on every single woman that you've ever been with. Okay? You've got to become what you want to attract. Okay? So you have to look at that list and then think, how can I integrate some of these things into my own code of ethics, into my own standards, into myself. Okay? Because like attracts like. If you want a woman who's a healthy communicator, if you want a woman that's faithful, if you want a woman that is successful, then you've also got to be those things too. You've also got to apply those things into your own life. Okay, if you want a woman that's healthy and has a hot body, then, well, you've got to get healthy and also try and make a nice body for yourself too. You can't just have it one way and get another. Okay, so you've got to become what you want to attract. Okay, now that doesn't mean you've got to become a woman and you've got to start acting feminine. But when it comes to these core things, these really important values, and these lifestyle things that you want in her, you've got to apply them to yourself. Okay, so not only are you creating a set of standards for the woman that you want to bring into your life, but you're also creating a set of standards for yourself. And as you can see, this is something that you can easily apply today. So make yourself a list. Now, what a good way to make the list would be like this. Okay, so it'll be, so you want something like so you want to create like kind of like two lists in a way. So you want to create things that are like deal breakers. So this will be like under like important. I was trying to think of a better word, but I was like, this will just have to do. So so things that are important. So these are the deal breakers. These are the things that you absolutely must have. Okay. So for example, you may want a girlfriend, a woman that's faithful, good communicator, because you don't want a woman that just sort of blanks you whenever. How do I spell that? Good communicator. Good communicator. So faithful, good communicator. Because yeah, like I say, you don't want a woman that's like, this going to be, well, you might do, I don't know, if it's part of your personality, but you don't want to, personally for me, I wouldn't want like a woman who's passive aggressive. Like if you've done something wrong, she just won't want to talk about it. I personally want a good communicator, someone who, for my wife, for example, she's very good at telling me when she's upset about something, right? And I like that, because then we can resolve it. But if you find a woman who can't do that, who that would be like my worst nightmare, for, being in a relationship with a woman who just will never tell you what's going on or what's up. So, kids, marriage, healthy, maybe, depending on your lifestyle. I'm just writing random things. So things that might be not so important. Now, these might be important to you, but let's just say you want a woman that's blonde. Probably not that important. Might be her, the kind of, maybe she likes, you want her to like Mexican food. Again, might not be too important to you, or it might be really important to you. So so you want to have things that are sort of interchangeable. It doesn't really matter that much, but also things that are really important to you. Okay, so when you look at this list, especially the important list, You got to think, okay, so I want a woman that's faithful. I want a woman that's a good communicator. I want a woman that wants kids. I want a woman that wants marriage. And I want a woman that's healthy. Well, I better start integrating these kinds of things into my personality too. Now, probably the kids and marriage thing, don't need to worry about too much because that's just a want. But when it comes to being healthy, then you're like, well, if I want a healthy woman that's got a hot body, then I better be a smoke show as well. If I want a woman that can communicate very nicely and is kind to me and stuff and knows how to talk like an adult, then, well, I better become that too. And if I want a woman that's faithful, well, then I better be faithful to her as well. Okay, and I better become that too. So that's the kind of list that you want to make. And then what you want to do is you want to review that list whenever, just whenever you go out on a date. And then, because you got the list, yeah, then it can be then easier for you to be a little bit more, be able to stand back and just basically observe her. And of course, the purpose of a date is to have fun and to have a good time and to have a laugh and stuff and to get her to smile and open up and talk to her, talk about herself, and to have a fun time. But you can easily plant in these topics when you go out on a date, so you can find out if this woman is right for you. Now that you've got your list, it's gonna be easier for you to remain objective, because one of the big things that I see a lot of people doing, and it's a really big mistake, and that is they don't take time to know what it is that they want in another person, and so they end up in marriages and in relationships that are just completely wrong, just because they're going from how good looking the person is and how much passion there is in the relationship, how fiery it is, which is good. It's nice to have passion and obviously be attracted to the woman that you're on a date with. But what I'm saying is you can have your cake and eat it too. You can have a woman that you find totally beautiful, who you have a lot of passion with, but also who it makes sense to date. Okay, so you're not just landing the first girl and picking the first woman who likes you, basically, or the first woman that you have like a strong sexual chemistry with. Yes, that's a good important part of the relationship, but if let's say she's an absolute smoke show and she's gorgeous and the sex is amazing, but if she's insane, right, or if she has these qualities that you really don't like, I promise you that when her looks fade, it's going to be, well, even then, it's going to be a pain in the ass to be with her. Even if she is beautiful, then you have a great relationship. So this is really important to consider, okay? So what's really cool, though, is if you notice these behaviors that you don't like in a woman that's really, really hot, it's going to feel really powerful to you to then reject that woman and stop talking to that woman, because this will be the first time in your life, maybe, that you've ever rejected a really beautiful woman, because you now know what it is that you want and you've got these standards. And if she's a woman that gets a lot of attention, like I said at the beginning of this video, she is not going to believe the fact that you rejected her, that you walked away from her. And she's not going to be able to forget about you because you had those standards. And that's why those standards are so important. It helps you keep your brain clear, when you go out on a date with a woman who happens to be so beautiful, but yet she's displaying all of these red flags that you really don't want in a relationship. Now, that was one of the mistakes that I made, right? So this is why I really don't want you to make the same mistake, because I made that mistake in my early 20s. I was in a relationship with a woman for about a year. And at the very beginning of that relationship, she showed signs to me that she was going to cheat on me. In fact, she said to me, what would you do if I cheated on you? Because this is something that she'd done with every other person that she'd been with previously, okay? And because I ignored that red flag, and of course it was a red flag because I still remember it. If the alarm bells weren't ringing, then I wouldn't have remembered that small conversation, right? Because we had many conversations. I don't remember many conversations I had with her, but I remember that one. And that was at the very start, okay? And guess what happened? She cheated on me multiple times, okay? So I don't want that to happen to you. Now, it may not happen because of like the cheating thing, my example, but it might be something else, right? It might be like the bad communication. She doesn't know how to talk to you, and it makes your life hell because you're the one that's always picking up the pieces because she's too stubborn to admit to her own faults or to try and make things work out with you. So it's really important that you've got these standards. So yes, you get that powerful moment where you meet a beautiful woman and you can actually reject her because she's not what you want. But also, you're going to be finding then a woman, you're going to be focusing your attention on finding a woman that really does want you, okay? That really does want you and you really want her, and she's everything on your list. She's everything that you've ever wanted. She's all of those things that you want, and she wants the same things as you, okay? So if you go out on a date with a woman and she's displaying red flags, or there's some parts of your life that are not aligned, even if she's beautiful, please don't continue dating her, okay? Find a woman, have those standards, okay? And if you have, and date a woman who is different than that, you know, keep on finding a woman, keep on going on dates until you find a woman who is right for you, okay? And I promise you that women are never going to forget about you if you have those standards, okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then you can go to www.christineloveridge.com and just pick whichever coaching option works best for you. I currently have a dating basics course on my website for those people that have been asking about it and asking for something like that over the years. But it's not necessary for you to get coaching with me or to get the course, because you can easily just coach yourself, because I know the economy is really bad right now. And you can go and read my book totally for free and coach yourself. So this book is called Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams. You can go and find it on my website. All you have to do is go to www.christineloveridge.com. Link is in the description below. Go to the menu on the website and click on the book, and it'll take you straight to the PDF reader where you can read this completely 100% for free. Okay, and also as well, to coach yourself too, you can also supplement reading this with my coaching videos here on YouTube that are also for free for you to watch. You may just have to watch an ad or something like that. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.